Pride and Prejudice vocabulary practice about chapter 1. Okay, so this is a new activity. I will do it from time to time beside my questions and my review. Why? I think it's very important that we keep in mind that we're not born in the dictionaries, let's put it this way. That a dictionary is just an artificial way of storing a word, okay? Store like to put in stock, right? Words happen in the wild, right? In the wild in this case are the books, the programs, the conversations and things like that. So that means that it's very interesting to know the words in context. And the definition is just, let's say, a tool in order to get to know words. Because why is it just a tool? Because when we hope to use the words, we don't hope to remember the words just as definitions, okay? That means that when we are reading something as complex as Pride and Prejudice, the best way to internalize vocabulary is to remember the word in its context, okay? So, a simple activity, I'll tell you about a word, I'll give you some examples, maybe ask you some questions, but it's a review thing, alright? This one is about chapter 1. Well, the first word is, take a look. Word, we've talked about that before, right? Word, much you spend, I will reimburse you. So what I mean is it doesn't matter how much you spend, okay? Any amount of money you spend, I will reimburse you. What is the word? The word is however. However much you spend, I will reimburse you. Other words we've studied before. You can do it you can do it however you want, okay? However we prepare for retirement, there are undeniably risks, okay? The prospects of success, however remote, was tantalizing. Okay. Of course, I'm asking an extremely difficult question, but let's try. Do you remember where in our story was that word used? It was used to say that however little known the feelings of or views of a man that goes to a village, however little known those feelings are, people consider this man a property of the village, alright? Mainly of the women that want to get married, right? It doesn't matter if he wants to be single, or if he likes one kind of woman or another, right? And it doesn't matter if his feelings are a total mystery. They consider him the property, the rightful property of someone or other of their daughters, okay? Keep in mind that while we are doing this exercise, we are kind of digesting also this world of the Pride and Prejudice, right? Something very interesting here. People use the Pride and Prejudice to talk a lot about the oppression of women, right? Women are very much oppressed. But I think we are simplifying the story if we just say that at that moment women were oppressed. I'm not saying that they weren't, alright, men had all the authority, that's well said and done, but it's more than that, alright? There is the relation here between the man and the woman. If on the one hand women don't have their power, on the other hand it seems like the man's feelings don't matter, and we will see that throughout the book, right? What are men regarding their feelings? They are people who must be manipulated, because men are impulsive, right? They are not very, let's say, rational in their decisions, so they're there, to be guided. It doesn't matter what they want, they're there to be guided to the right place, and then they will marry the right person. That of course will be my daughter, you know. Okay. Next sentence or word, right? So in the sentence, they assume that every man that is in the age of getting married is, and I want an expression with need of a wife. You could say that every man needs a wife, that's perfectly fine, but we can also use the expression answer. Every time I stop like this, okay, I hope you pause the video and try to interact, right? In need of a wife, okay? For example, the baby's been up all night crying, so my wife and I are seriously in need of some sleep. The crops, you know, like the plantation, the crops are in need of water. There is a similar expression with in need of. Can you remember that expression? In want of, okay? So in want of a wife is also possible. And of course the difference is the difference between need and want, right? I have a sentence here, again to review. After spending 3 days camping in the mountains, we were all in want of a long hot shower. Judging, second sentence, judging by its most recent financial reports, it is clearly a company in need of a more competent CEO. Okay, so let's continue with our story. My question is, what do you mean if I say that the Netherfield Park is let? Answer, it means that it has been rented, it has been leased, okay? Remember that the Netherfield Park is the estate, right? The real estate Mr. Bingley rented, okay? Question, there is a part right here in this paragraph when the wife cried impatiently. In your opinion, was there a lot of tears? Were there a lot of tears? Answer, not at all, because cry in this context is to speak with a lot of emotion, okay? Question, the gentleman there, Mr. Bingley, he came there in a chaise and four. What does that mean? Answer, it means that he came, you know, in a light carriage with 4 horses. Question. If I invited you to celebrate Michaelmas, what would you be able to say about me? Answer, well, you would be able to say that I'm quite religious, right? Because I am celebrating a holiday in honor of angel. Actually, he is an archangel, the archangel Michael. And then of course we have the word for December 25th. What is that word? If you said Christmas, I think you should rethink your answer, because it's Christmas. It's a very common mispronunciation to say Christmas. So it's Christmas. Very good. Question, what could you say if I told you that a class was tiresome? Answer, you could say that this class is very boring. Question, if I asked you to give over your, I don't know, your car, would you be happy to do so? Answer, probably not, right? Because to give over is to abandon, right? Is to just let it go. In this first chapter, remember that Mrs. Bennet said she was going to, or she has already given over her beauty, okay, or thinking of her own beauty, because now she has to think about her daughter's beauty and of course future. Of course, Mr. Bingley made a little joke there saying that, well, if you have daughters, in that case, have 5 daughters and you have to worry about their marriage, so probably you don't have a lot of beauty to give over. Of course, as Mr. Bennet always does, he hides that, under his witty way of speaking. Question: if you do more than you engaged for, is that good or not? Answer: I don't think so, because what you engaged for is what you agreed with. So you are doing more than you want or than you at first planned, right? Question: let me see, how can I transform that into a question? Okay, I'll give you the sentence. Sorry, I couldn't transform it into a question. Okay, so the sentence is: please don't stop the class. I will just observe from the back. Don't stop the class because of me. But there's another way to say that. Just one more. I can't believe you organized this massive surprise party. Expression. Answer: on my account. Don't stop the class on my account. Just go on. Wow, you organized this part on my account. I'm so flattered, right? Keep in mind, Sir William and Lady Lucas are determined to visit Mr. Bingley on that account. What account? On the account that he is young and he is marriable, So account can be basis or ground. I have another sentence here. No reason to worry on that account. Okay. The next word is just a pronunciation I would like you to have in mind. That is scrupulous. Okay. I put the phonetical transcript there in our list. Scrupulous, right? And of course, it's pretty much the same thing as Portuguese. Question: the narrator, or I think it was Mrs. Bennet, she said that her husband was abusing her daughters and their daughters, right? So it means that he should go to prison. Answer: no, because abuse can be irritate, bother, or frustrate, or insult, mainly in a more traditional way. This is not so serious. Question: what's another way to say something very similar to this? Irritate, bother. It is something Mr. Bingley did to his wife all the time. Answer: vex is what he used to do. Let me see what else. And then I have this part. She was a woman of mean understanding. Does it mean that she was evil? Does it mean that she knew a lot of meanings? Answer: no. It means that she had a very low understanding. There was a part, she fancied somebody, fancied herself nervous. Does it mean she bought expensive and chic things? No, it means that she imagined, she supposed herself to be nervous. And the last one, is, where can you find solace? Answer, I don't know, in my case I can find solace in my family, with some friends, or even with my book, right? My books. Answer, so solace here is like consolation, comfort would be a nice way to put it.